folks. Welcome to the Codex Station's top 10 list.
Yep.
Tonight is going to be the top 10 Beast. I am your host, Salad Slab Guy. Joined with me, as always, is Uncle Gary, the Ric Flair of comics.
Woo!
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. You know, this is a hot show for y'all that have turned in because there has been a simmering debate here
Oh my
at the
gosh,
Codex
simmering.
Station. You're right, in fuego. It has been a wild storm. It has been a brush fire that's turned into a flaming inferno because it is between me and Sal, and we're going to settle this. We're going to settle this. It is tonight.
I'm getting in the ring, and I'm going to settle this.
We're going to settle this tonight.
Yes. And if you're watching this, this means you're a members only of the Codex Station, and we appreciate you joining.
Is that member? I thought you said it was only fans. Is that what that was?
That's a different
Was that
episode.
Something else that I'm... Am I conflating that with something else?
Yes, you're confusing that with something else.
Because I thought it was only fans and you pay to get content. Is it that?
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing?
You pay to play there, but you pay to watch here.
Well, I thought you did that there too.
We may. But thank you, members, for joining us to the Codex Station. We do appreciate that, and we hope you enjoy this content. And so now we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Right? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Let's do that. Where is this thing for the intro? Boom. Oh, yeah.
Oh, great intro. You know what? I won't agree with anything else you've done tonight, but that was well done, my friend. That was well done.
Why, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to alternate, and me being the gentleman that I am, Gary, you may go first and give me your number 10 reason why Beast is an Avenger.
Well, and let's just talk about aesthetics first, because, you know, the Beast is on... he's on my shirt. He's right.
Where's that?
He's right there with all this shirt full of Avengers. He is on there. Sal couldn't even find an X-Men shirt with the Beast on it. He's wearing a Venom shirt.
I don't own one yet.
Listen, don't make excuses. I'm just saying I have an Avengers shirt with the Beast on it. That's all I'm saying. All right. Okay. So number 10. I have a list.
Doesn't everybody have an Avengers card now?
Well, you know,
doesn't everybody have an Avengers card? I think I had that one too.
Do you have a driver's license? Do you have a driver's license? Are you qualified to get one? And you have one.
Yes.
If you're qualified, you can get an Avengers card.
All right, give me number 10.
Give me number 10. Wait a minute. Well, you know what?
Oh, hold on, folks. He needs to get out the paperwork and everything.
I got to have the proper paperwork. Okay. So, thank God. I thought we were going to... Tim, edit it. We don't have the paperwork.
No, Tim, don't edit this out. Leave this in.
Okay. One word for you, and one word only, the number 10 reason why Beast should be an Avenger and why it's better for him to be an Avenger. Jarvis.
Do explain.
Jarvis. He has a butler to sweep up all that blue fur that he tracks around Avengers Mansion. He doesn't have to clean it up. He doesn't have to clean it out of the bathtub. He doesn't have to get it out of the sink. He's got Jarvis to clean up all that blue fur.
So you're saying that Beast has a slave?
No, I'm saying that the Avengers. Beast does not have a slave. The Avengers
have a slave.
They have a manservant that is paid, and he takes that job very seriously, and he's paid a living wage to do that, and he takes pride in that. He takes a lot of pride in that job, and he is there to help them, and he makes great sandwiches for them when it's snack time, makes meals for them. So the reason why Beast is better off as an Avenger and should be an Avenger, Jarvis.
Okay.
You know that's good. You know that's good.
That's not bad. But number 10 for me of why Beast should be an X-Men, first and foremost, X-Men number 114. What does he do? He leaves the Avengers to go check on Xavier and tell him that the other X-Men have perished in the battle with Magneto in the volcano. He just up and goes. He's like, that's my family over there. I've got to go and talk to my former teacher, my former mentor, my, what does that say? Leader in the team, and God tell him that my teammates did not survive. Did the Avengers go with him and say, "Oh my gosh, Beast, let me go with you with that and help you through this emotional crisis that you're going through"?
Well, the reason they didn't is because he went AWOL to do that.
Okay, all right, he went AWOL. I'll give you that.
He went AWOL, but let me ask you this: why wasn't he there with the X-Men when they had their trouble? Because he's an Avenger.
All right, what's your number?
But I give you, he told his family he had some family responsibility. It's like when you're living away, when you live out of your hometown and something bad happens, you go back to your hometown, you pay your respects. That's what he did.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
And I forgot that actually he went AWOL. I really did. I thought he had told them.
No, he went AWOL.
Okay, he went AWOL. Okay, all right.
He went AWOL.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, give me your number 9.
Number 9. So it's one thing for you or for me to say he should be an Avenger, right? I'm biased. I love the Beast. I think he should be an Avenger. But what about if one of the biggest dicks in all comics thought he should be an Avenger? And I'm talking about Avengers 181 and Henry Peter Gyrich had the Beast on his handpicked team of 7. Only 7 made that team, and Henry Peter Gyrich. And one thing I know that we won't dispute, he is the biggest dick in comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sal and I are on it.
He's the one that wants to hunt down and kill every mutant on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he does now. He does now. Then he was just a government flunky asshole. But even he chose the Beast to be an Avenger.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. See, I know. Sal's going,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But my number 9, the X Club, to save mutant kind from the effects of M-Day. What does he do? He grabs Angel to form a team of specialists to help counter the effects of M-Day.
He does. He is very vital to his race.
So if he's with all his Avenger buddies, don't you think he should have grabbed some of them to help out with this?
No, because this was a thing about his kind, his species.
Well,
this was his species.
So say the Avengers won't help?
Oh, the Avengers would help, but sometimes you don't ask people for help when you should.
Right. Well,
he was negligent in that. And I think as we know, the Beast as an X-Men has made a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah.
And that would be one of them.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. All right. Give me your number 8. Number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
When he's with the Avengers, he gets to bounce around the mansion, call Wanda Ms. Scarlet, make jokes all day long, make jokes all day long, and he is the big, funny, fuzzy, blue ape-man. And he has a blast, and he is a comedian. I've never seen him be funny in the X-Men. I have not seen him crack wise. I've not seen him crack jokes. I have seen him crack skulls and be really wrapped up in some serious problems, but I have not seen him crack wise when he was an X-Man.
I've seen him do a little bit of wisecracking and a little bit of like pontificating
and maybe sarcasm.
And it's sarcasm. But I'll give you that point. That's a good point. I'll give you that one.
In the X-Men, do we have a book, and now I know it was recently done in X-Force, but when we got the Avengers era Beast back, he said, "Oh, my stars and garters." I don't know. I can't recall a specific X-Men book before that where he talks about, "Oh, my stars and garters."
I have to agree with that. I don't think he did. I only think he did. If it did happen, it happened after that point while he was in the Avengers with that quote.
Yeah, possibly. So, I mean, jocularity.
Jocularity. All right. Fine. All right. Here's my number 8. Number 8.
Bring it, baby.
During the Utopia storyline, he's actually captured and Beast was rescued by
The Avengers.
X-Men.
Oh,
the X-Men.
The X-Men rescued. Okay.
No Avengers in sight.
No Avengers in sight.
No Avengers in sight.
That's.
But also during this storyline, he realizes how much Cyclops is being a dick and wants to leave the team because of Cyclops being a bad leader.
Oh,
but that doesn't count.
I'm going to tell you something though. That is foreshadowing, my friend, and you don't even realize it. That is foreshadowing. So,
all right, give me the number 7.
Number 7. When he is with the Avengers, he doesn't have to be the strong man or the big brain, which was quite a bit of pressure on him, especially in the earlier days of the X-Men. He had to be the brain and he had to be the muscle. He had to be all of that. He gets to the Avengers. Well, there's Iron Man over there. There's Thor over there. There's Wonder Man over there.
Yeah.
There's Hercules over there.
So what's the point of it? What is he supposed to be?
He's not. He doesn't have all that pressure. Now, when it comes to being the scientist, yes, he's still brilliant, but you got Tony Stark. You got Hank Pym. You got T'Challa. You are awash in brilliant people. So he doesn't have the pressure of having to figure everything out either. That's why he can be a more easy breezy, fun-loving guy, because he doesn't have all that weight and all that heavy pressure on him. He's not doing all the heavy lifting physically and mentally.
See, but as a scientist, as a hardcore scientist that he is, he still would love that, no matter how much pressure is put on him for that. I can understand the strong guy portion of that, but as the big brain intellectual, he's going to want to do that anyhow. Like, yeah, Tony Stark's already figured it out, but I'm going to do some calculations on my own just to double check him.
Well, I don't think he's double checking Tony Stark as much as maybe Hank Pym's, because Beast is more of a biologist and biochemistry than he is an engineer.
Right.
Yeah.
True. Good point.
Now, I would think if we were talking about Forge, that would be more online, that Forge would be checking Tony Stark's.
Right. Okay.
But
good point.
But I get your point. I get your point.
All right. Here we go. Number 7. My number 7.
Okay.
Inhumans versus X-Men. Cyclops calls Beast to do what? Figure out the Terrigen Mist. Beast figures out the Terrigen Mist is actually lethal to mutants, and figures out a plan on how to safely relocate mutants to Mars, and thereby avoiding the Terrigen Mist that gave the Inhumans their powers, but also killed mutants if it ever affected them.
Boy, that was a lot of pressure on the Beast to have to figure that out. That was a lot of pressure.
It's the big brain that he loves to do.
He had that big. I don't know that he loves to do it as much as he has to do it.
Well,
maybe he has to do it.
Maybe he has to do it. Maybe he has to
do it. I mean, it's adulting to the max when he's an X-Man. It's adulting to the max. But yes, he did that, and yes, he was effective, and yes, he saved the day. But man, that took a toll. As we've seen, the Beast has gone down a very, very, very bad road lately, and I think these pressures help lead him to that.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yep. All right.
Number 6.
Number 6. Okay. The villains that the Beast battles with the Avengers are motivated by greed and power, not racism. They don't care. They don't care that he's a mutant. The X-Men villains want to take over the world, and they want to rob banks. They want to make some scratch. So I think it's refreshing to fight villains that are just trying to get ahead, that don't want to kill you for exactly what you are because of your race, because you're a mutant. They just want to kill you because you're a good guy.
But see,
yeah, you're having trouble with that one.
No, because I'm having trouble with that one. Any type of good villain, any type of good battle, they don't want to just, because you're a good guy. Bad guys don't want to fight you because you're a good guy. They want to fight you because they hate your guts, and they want to take you out of the equation. Here's a good example: Doc Ock and Spider-Man. Doc Ock will not let anybody else kill Spider-Man because he wants to kill Spider-Man. Wolverine and Sabretooth. Sabretooth doesn't want anybody else to kill Wolverine because he wants to. So if that means they've got to work together to stop another threat that's going to kill one of those our heroes, they'll work together, and then they'll start their fight.
Well, yeah, but when you have to fight, when you're in a fight every single day because people hate you because you're a mutant and they hate you for who you are.
Right.
The Avengers are just hated because they are on the side of right and they're standing in the way of what these bad guys want to accomplish. It's not a personal vendetta as it is they're an obstacle.
Okay.
So I think there's different motivations with the villains, and the Beast is not fighting somebody that hates his guts all the time because he's a mutant, and I think that's got to be refreshing.
Okay, I can see that.
Okay.
I still like the drama of the villain wanting to kill you because he hates your guts.
Yeah, well,
I
appreciate that point, and that's a valid
no
point.
amount of money in the world could mean a thing to me because I could go in the stock market, play the stock market, buy Bitcoin, whatever have you, and make all the money I want. I could open up Starbucks and make trillions of dollars a day. So money, whatever. Money's a thing.
Look, when Count Nefaria is trying to, I mean, not Nefaria, but when the Masters of Evil and all want to take over, they're not taking over because they want to wipe out the mutant race. They just want to take over because they want to be in charge, damn it, of everybody. Everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Number 6 for me.
Number six
for me. During Schism and AVX, after the separation of the X-Men formed 2 different teams. Beast goes in with Wolverine and Jean Grey. Wolverine goes in with Wolverine to open up the Jean Grey School for higher learning and mutants.
Right.
So right away he's there. He's trying to form a community society like it was originally back in the day as a school for mutants. To help them be able to control his powers. Control their powers.
Well, and educate them. I actually think
that's what I meant.
I actually think that's the best one you've had so far. I think I think that is the best one you've had so far because that answers a higher calling and isn't about fighting all the time. It's about educating them. And it's a damn shame he went down a dark turn and educated the ones in X-Force to do rotten, awful, terrible things because he turned so dark. He turned dark like the Dark Beast. We already had a Dark Beast. We didn't need Hank to be the Dark Beast too.
Right.
Yeah. And when we had the new X-Men, the kids that came forward that hadn't been jaded yet, and he saw the future Hank, he was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
Just like what happened in X-Force, the blue furry Avengers era Hank was crying. He cried tears when he looks at the monitor when he finds out what his future counterpart did, and he said, "Oh, Hank."
Hank. That was emotional, and that was very.
Yeah, but I buy that was very uplifting, and that was a very noble thing he was doing with the X-Men when he was an instructor and a teacher, and I think that was one of his callings.
Yep.
All right, you're gonna have a hard time refuting number 5. You ready?
Okay.
You ready?
Number 5.
When he's in the Avengers, he is led by Captain America. When he's with the X-Men, he's led by that dick Cyclops.
I can't refute that.
No, I know. I figured.
I can't refute that. That's a good point. That's a good point.
and you already foreshadowed that anyway.
Yeah, because but any intelligent, somebody as smart as Hank is going to see this pattern and go, "Hey, you're turning into a."
Let's see. Who's my leader? Captain America, Cyclops. Yeah, I think I'll go with the Shield, the guy that throws the shield. You think Jamie will want to defend Cyclops in this episode?
He probably would. He would because
No, he wouldn't. He hates him. He knew it. He's on my side. If he's not on my side for any other question, he's on my side for that one.
Are you sure? I saw Jamie, or I talked to Jamie the other day, and he actually told me about the Cyclops bed sheets that he had bought for his house.
Yeah, I know. He uses those when he needs to piss and shit the bed.
Jamie, we love you. Jamie, we love you. Jamie, we love you.
Very good.
All right. All right, so number 5.
No debate on that one. I love that. I love that one.
No debate. No debate. I mean, this is good. This is good. But I don't think you're going to debate me on this one. My
Okay,
number
let's
5.
see. Let's see that. What we got?
Cures the legacy virus as an X-Men.
He does.
And not only does he do that, but he bounces around the halls of the X Mansion, saying he's cured it. He's found the cure, and he I think he literally dive tackles Wolverine in the process, screaming, "I've done it! I've found the cure."
And you know what? You are completely right on that. He was happy. He was bouncing around. He found the cure, and all it cost him was Cyclops' life.
No, Colossus.
Or Colossus. Should have been Cyclops. Right.
That should have been Cyclops.
It should have been
Yes,
Cyclops.
unfortunately, there was a down thing to that.
All that wonderfulness did was just cost him one of his most beloved teammates' life.
Yep. Which later came back and everything was fine.
Like they all do.
Like they all do.
But you're right. I do remember that's probably the best moment the Beast has had in years when he cured the virus.
Yep.
And he was happy. And that was how he would have acted with the X-Men.
Right.
I mean, with the Avengers.
So the only thing I don't like about that is the legacy virus went on for a good bit, and I think the creators at Marvel got to the point where it was like, okay, just end it now, and they kind of like ended it very quickly. And I don't think there was the cost thing at the end. Yeah, I can understand it, but I think it shouldn't have been that tragic. You know, I wanted to have Beast have a win in this one. Like, you know, he's finally solved something without the cost of life, without anything else. He's finally figured out to use that big brain, and he solved it. But I think the writers at Marvel at the time were just like told, cut it now, end it, that type of thing. And that's how they kind of rushed it for
me. I agree. So, I agree with that.
All
right. Number 4.
Number
4 is just a general overview, and it kind of talks about some of the things we've discussed. When he is an Avenger, he has fun. He has fun. He is the life of the party. When he's an X-Men, he is a miserable, crabby old bitch. He is a mean, snarly, dark, awful. And you know as well as I do, you have hated him in the past 5 years. He's been awful. That's
for sure. Yeah,
it's been awful. But when he was Avenger, he's light, he's airy, he's fun, he's like we talked before, always cracking wise, and he is the life of the party. Always hanging around upside down. You know, it's just simple. He's having fun.
Okay.
George Perez did a lot of that. Now, George Perez brought a hell of a lot to that.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
You know, rest in peace, George Perez. We love you.
Absolutely. And he loved
what's that?
He loved that character. He loved
my intro thing for Beast was a George Perez Beast.
Yep. And there was one issue where he wrote himself and Kurt Busiek in the book. And he goes, "When can I draw the funny blue monkey man again?" Is what Perez is saying to Busiek. So he just loves Beast. And he loves, you know, someone else in there I'm alluding to later on too. But just basically, he has fun. He has fun. And you can't tell me, there's no way you can tell me that he has more fun being a X-Man than he does an Avenger.
No, because he did have a lot of fun there.
He had a lot.
But only because he was free of those shackles that you were talking about earlier. You know,
yes,
not the big brain. He was not the big strong man.
That's right. And again, that just validates what I said earlier.
I know, but
you're validating what I said earlier. See, I've been building.
But that's all part of this. That's what all part of this is.
Okay,
that's all part of what this is.
All part of it.
Okay, ready for number 4?
I'm ready for your number 4.
He is a founding member of X Factor. X Factor was a the company that got put in place to not only save mutants that are out there that are just confused or unable to control their powers, but he was sticking it to the people calling these people in to say, hey, you got to get rid of this evil mutant, and taking their money and saying thank you very much. And he was then turning around helping them, and also helping them teach them to control their powers, such as Boom Boom and I believe Richter and a couple others as well.
Maybe Skids and Rusty. Yeah.
Yep, Skids and Rusty. Yep. So
I like that, and I'm going to help you with your argument.
Okay.
You should also add that he was a founding member of the X-Men.
Yep. Can you wait for my
Oh,
other
okay. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, if that's still coming, then that's great. That's great.
That's
The
still coming. That's still coming.
Founding member of that. Now, number 3.
Number
You
3.
just might as well quit right now.
Uh-oh.
Because this
Uh-oh.
thing
I've got a
never
good 3
happened.
too.
Huh? All right.
I've got a good number 3 too.
Number 3, the Beast is a sexual dynamo when he was with the Avengers.
I can't refute that part of it, but that doesn't matter what team he's on, though.
Let me tell you something. He ain't never got laid like this in the X-Men. So I'm telling you, and I got proof. I got manifestation of this.
Oh, he's got proof.
I've got
proof. Pictures? So, I don't want to see the pictures. I don't want to see the pictures.
Here we go. In Avengers 164, the Beast, he's on the street. So I'm just going to show you the street scene.
Yeah.
He's got females coming up, and the females are, hey, you're blue and furry. You're the Beast. In person, wowie, wait till I tell the girls at the office. The Beast, another one. Oh my God, I read all about you. Hey, look who it is. I'm so excited. I've been dying to meet. Oh, he turns me on. I can't believe I've got to touch his fur. Okay. I've got to touch his fur. So for those of you playing this game at home, yes, so you're sunk on this one, buddy. This is Avengers 164. Now we cut to a scene. A few pages later, we cut to a scene in Avengers Mansion. And he walks in the door. The Avengers are having a meeting. See, the Beast walks in. The Beast walks in here, right? He goes, well, hello there, ladies and germs. Beast, where have you been for the past 2 days? 2 days. Where have you been for the past 2 days? Well, I promised Barb, Sue, Melanie, and Patty I wouldn't tell, but it was a gas. Barb, Sue, Melanie, Patty. He had a 4-way 2-day binge. 4-day 2-day binge. In case you didn't get this, Barb, Sue, Melanie, and Patty. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Now, that's not all. But no, it's not all. It's not all.
Okay. I'm waiting.
It's not all. Beast was such a sexual dynamo that in issue was 178, he is at a party, and again, he is the life of the party, hanging upside down. The guys are watching him, and look at this conversation between you guys. It's unnatural. Look at the hunger in their eyes. Look at the way their lips moisten at the sight of him. They're practically drooling. All right. This is 2 guys talking about the look on that chick's face. So a fight is picked with the Beast, and let's see. Whatever you're doing to the chicks, making them slobber like that, it's degrading. So he's gotten a fight because they can't stand that their gals are slobbering over the blue furry sex machine. Now you tell me when he got laid as an X-Man, he didn't get laid like this. Barb, Sue, Melanie, and Patty. You know, you got nothing.
Because
you got nothing.
You don't bring home a quartet of women to your family's house to have a romp.
He didn't bring him home to the mansion. He was gone for 2 days. He was out and about and getting it.
That's what I'm saying. He was like he was out and about. He was much older. He was more sure of his his sexual orientation, his confidence, and all that other good stuff. He didn't want to do that when he was a kid. All he wanted to do was the big brain and be the strong guy.
Is that what you would rather do, or would you rather have Barb, Sue, Melanie, and Patty?
Oh, I would rather have Barb, Sue. I was just saying, he was at that time he was too young of the X-Men to have that situation.
I'm talking more about after that. After the blue transformation, after he came back to the Avengers, after he had gotten all this good time loving as an Avenger. You know damn well he didn't get any of that when he was an X-Man. He's too busy solving the world's problem to get out and get properly laid for 2 days with 4 chicks. Oh, did we name them Barb, Sue, Melanie, and Patty?
Yeah, you named them already.
I think we named them. I know that you're killing you. Yeah, killing you on that one.
Yeah, that's killing me. Yeah, that's killing me. All right, well, here we go.
All right, let's
find number 3. Find number 3. This is going to be a hard one for you to muster.
It's not as much fun as mine.
Not as much. It's not fun, but it's going to be a good counterpoint.
Okay.
When he left the X-Men to join the
Yes.
Avengers, he gets involved with the brand company, and boom, experiments on himself, become the furry beast.
That is very true. He does.
So
And
just
and you know what would have happened had he had been Avenger at that point? Hank Pym would have told him, "Don't do that." Tony Stark would tell him, "Don't do that. That's don't experiment on yourself. That's wrong." So he didn't have the guidance. He didn't have the guidance.
You think
of the
Hank
other
Pym is
big
going to
boys.
say that?
Well, this was before Hank Pym started beating his wife. So he still had a little split personality with the yellow jacket thing, but he hadn't started beating Janet yet. So he would have had the other big brains tell him, "No, don't do that. Don't do that. Check your work. Check your work. Check your work. Check your work."
Mm-hmm.
See, again, yours is nowhere near as much fun as mine was.
Okay, if we're talking fun factor, yes. Okay, you have it on the.
I have the
side.
Beast's best interest at heart. You have him turn in blue and fur. But the blue and furry helped him become a blue furry sex. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention with number 3. The other thing I forgot to mention. Oh God, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. He also started a fetish that is practiced in the real world today, and you know what it is?
Tell me.
Furries.
No way. You're not crediting him for that.
Yeah, he started the furries. The women in the comics saw, a blue furry fun bag like that, and it went into the real world, and that's where furries came from.
I need facts behind that. I call shenanigans on that one. Shenanigans. All right. Give me your number 2.
Number two.
Give me your number 2.
Wonder Man. His best friend. They go to the movies together. They go out party. They go on double dates. The Beast even took him on a double date, and the gal that he took him on a double date couldn't get a sitter and brought her a rotten kid. And then Beast had to make that up to Wonder Man. They go to all night. They watch The Adventures of Robin Hood in the theater and have wonderful discussions of cinema and life. They get drunk after the bad date. They get drunk, stagger out when the sun's coming up, and Red Ronan's in Hudson or New York Harbor, and they fight Red Ronan while they're 3 sheets to the wind. His best friend, his buddy, his pal, his Wonder Man, his friend. Who on the X-Men has he got a buddy like that with? He ain't got nobody. And when things went bad in the recent X-Force thing, the Beast that they resurrected from that time period went back to Wonder Man. And actually it was kind of poignant. He was heartbroken where Wonder Man says, "Well, Hank, you haven't contacted me in years. I tried to stay in touch." And it broke that Hank's heart that his future self had moved away from Simon. And I know you're making the joke, where are the Avengers and this and that. The Beast has alienated himself from the Avengers kind of in the X-Men world. And that's just more apparent by the fact that he let that friendship with with Wonder Man lapse. And at the end of that X-Force issue, that Beast has survived. And even though they don't show it, they said that he's living with Simon now. He's bunking with Simon and and left the X-Men world for right now. So he went back to his best friend, but it just broke the Beast's heart that he had done that and that Simon had tried to stay friends with him. But that friendship is just one of the greatest friendships in all comics.
I totally agree with that.
That's, so
100%.
All crap aside,
that's an enjoyable storyline at any level.
Right, and I was happy for them to bring it back a little bit and to have to have that again. Avengers 2, not X-Men 2. It's Avengers 2.
X-Men doesn't need a 2 because we're still on volume 1.
See, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a great cover. That's
the Perez, the Mr. Muscles fan club. So it's just, now I will say this: I struggled. I was going to have a Beast action figure, and what would have bolstered your point is all of them have the X on it, but I didn't pull it out of the case. But I have a Beast statue that does not have that. He's got the event. He's done in the Perez version. Doesn't have the X on his trunks. It's done the Avengers. So, but I didn't pull the statue out. But it's just that friendship, right there. That's why I say that's
Yeah,
my
he does
number 3
not. He
reason.
does not have that anywhere on the X-Men team. He's got
No,
close friends. I would say Iceman was a close friend back in the beginning.
yeah.
You know, so I would say, yeah, Iceman was a close friend back in the
Well,
beginning. But
I would say this too. I would say not just Wonder Man, but on the Avengers, the other Avengers, he is well liked and loved.
Mhm.
Amongst the X-Men, he's kind of hated right now. Amongst
Well, right, yeah.
amongst the other X-Men right now, he is really kind of hated. And
Mm.
even before he started doing all the bad stuff, he was just really prickly. Like you said, the legacy virus and all that weighed so heavily on him that he
Mhm.
was just there was not much fun to him. And that's why after all the X-Men stories I've read have kind of melded together over the years. But when you talked about how excited he was when he cured the legacy virus, that still resonated when you said that. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. That he
Mhm.
was. That was like his old bubbly self. So I just think his peers on the Avengers view him and love him, or view him and like him much more favorably. The other X-Men love him, but it's like family, right? You
Yeah.
love your family. That doesn't mean you like your family.
Right.
Right?
Right.
The,
Mhm.
the Avengers truly, generally like him, and a lot of that is because he is really written differently, or was written differently when he was an Avenger, a whole lot,
Right.
differently. So a lot
Right.
of that, here we're talking about these. It's really due to the writing. We're really
Mhm.
debating writing and
We are.
styles and how you use that character. But the
Yeah.
character that I love and I fell in love with was that Beast, because how we're always bound by what we remember as we first started reading. And when you
Mhm.
started reading, he was an X-Man, with that
Mm.
big relaunch, and as
Mhm.
part of that, or it was X Factor. He was X Factor, I think, when you started reading, right?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
it's X Factor I started, but
yeah,
I also read with the '90s version X Men as well.
right,
Mhm.
absolutely. And he was on the TV show and all that. But I fell in love with him as an Avenger, and I just always loved that. So, I mean, I know
Mhm.
this is we're having fun with this. We really are.
Of course we are.
That's
We're,
right. But
we're not even finished yet. We're not
yeah.
even
Oh no,
finished
we're not
yet.
finished. But I still think that's a valid point. Besides the friendship of Wonder Man, that's undisputed. The other Avengers like him a whole lot more than the other X-Men like him.
Mm. Okay. All right.
All
All right.
right,
My,
you're number two.
my,
Number two.
my number two. My number two is a pretty simple one. This is pretty easy. How many X Men books has he been in versus how many Avengers books has he been in?
Well, you know what? With the Avengers, when you're on that A team, you don't have to be on the B leagues or the C leagues. You just stay on the A team. You
Well,
stay on the best of the
how
best. He's been
right?
in
But
X
how many
Factor.
issues?
He's
How
been in
many
X
issues?
Force. He's been in all these other. He's been in all these spin-offs. When he was an Avenger, he was on the A team. He wasn't on the Great Lakes Avengers. He wasn't on the West Coast Avengers. He was on the Avengers team. The Avengers team that was so good they didn't even need an adjective to describe which Avengers team it was.
It's just the Avengers.
He's just the Avengers.
But I'm just sticking strictly number based. He's been in more X Men books than he has in Avengers
Yes, he
books.
has. He has been in
Okay,
more X-Men books. Yes, he has.
He's been utilized across the board more in X Men books.
Yeah. Well, I'm a
Okay.
firm believer in quality over quantity. So, I digress. We just have
You
to
believe
agree to
you believe in the
disagree.
firmness? You believe in the firmness? Is what you're saying?
I believe in quality over quantity.
All right, we're down to number one, ladies and gentlemen.
Number one.
Go ahead, Gary. Give us your number one.
My number one. And
Let's
you've
see the
seen
super.
this before. You've
Yeah.
seen this before. You've seen this before. You probably even know that it's coming. So, when the Beast was in Xavier's mansion, he was an
Mm,
X-Man. That's really, really where he figuratively grew up.
right.
And that's where he grew up. But that's not where his heart is. That's where he was sired, birthed, became a hero. But when he comes back in Avengers 14, in this wonderful issue here, like, oh, look, another Wonder Man cover. Wonder Man cover. The Beast has come back. He's left. Look, there's George Perez and them talking about drawing the wonderful Monkey Man. But when he gets in Avengers Mansion and he's with his old friends, his true feelings come out. And it's, hi, honey, I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. I'm not in that dreary X mansion where I had no damn fun. Look at that smile. When did he do that as an Avenger? As an X-Man. When as an X-Man did he smile like that and say, "Hi, honey, I'm home"? He was back at Avengers Mansion with his friends, with his best buddy in the world, the place he's the happiest, not the place where he was raised, not the place where he had his responsibility, but where he wants to be in his heart, home.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. I knew that was your number one.
It had to be,
I
right?
knew that was your number one.
Well, wouldn't you agree it had to be?
Yeah, it had to be your number one.
It had to be. Yeah.
It had to be your number one. I mean, if you opened up with number 10 on that one, I would have been like, oh, okay, I'm in trouble.
Listen, we went from and you know who? Jarvis at number 10 is part of home.
Okay. I was gonna say, you probably know what my number one is.
I know what yours is. Yeah, I alluded to that earlier. Yeah,
you alluded to that. X-Men number one, where he became a hero, where he became, instilled the qualities of being a hero. Where he developed his intellect, where he designed a blackbird that he could fly with his feet and everything. So everything that was in the lab was designed around him to be able to use. So X-Men number one, 1963.
He's a founding member. He was a founding member.
Founding member.
And yet a team that he founded, and he was right there from the inception. He left because it just wasn't working out.
Well, as every child has to leave their home. You can't live in your parents' basement forever.
That's right. And you move on, and you move on, and you move to a house. You find a house where you can bring chicks home whenever the hell you want.
Of course.
Yes, you can have a quartet for 2 days.
I think you're more jealous of that than anything else, man.
Well, we share a lot of qualities alike.
We share a lot of qualities.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just the man was blue and furry and getting his man or woman in this case.
Getting this freak on.
Getting his freak on and was in demand. But like I said, he was home.
Do you know I had cereal the other morning and I was looking for the prize in the box, and lo and behold, it pulled out an Avengers card.
Are you saying anybody can be an Avenger? Is that what you're saying?
Anybody can be an Avenger.
Yeah, well,
anybody can be an Avenger.
And
everybody is an Avenger.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Because listen, when you are on the best team, it's like we're Americans, right?
Right.
We're Americans. Everybody wants to come here and be an American because everybody wants to be the best of the best. And that's exactly what happened. The Beast, he was born in a country where he was born as an X-Men, which was a country where there's so much hatred against him, and he overcame that, and he went to a place where he can truly shine and be what he is by stepping up and becoming an Avenger. He went from the minor leagues to the major leagues when he became an Avenger. He went from a team that people just don't like as much, and they've got a lot of hatred to a team that is globally beloved.
So tell me, when Captain America forms the Uncanny Avengers,
yes,
why wasn't Beast invited to that?
Because lately the Beast has been a complete ass, and he has not been worthy of what Cap's ideal for the Avengers would be.
Okay.
Because he's taken that turn. But I bet you this Beast that has come back and is now reacquainted with Wonder Man and hanging out together, I bet you that Beast would be invited back.
Maybe so. We'll see.
We shall see.
But I think there's one thing that we can both agree on.
What's that?
I think that the Beast could be both.
You know what? In the spirit of togetherness me and you were having, why can't we have both? Why
can't we have both?
I think we can have both. I mean, listen, I still think that I'm righter. But you
see, Beast wouldn't
and
say
you're
that.
wronger, but we can be together. No. I think we can have both. I think it's a great character. But
Absolutely.
what it really is the way it's two different approaches to this character, because really it's like two different characters.
True. And it really, like you said earlier, it's really essentially what we grew up on. You grew
Right.
up on reading him in the Avengers, so that's where you know him from.
And you know, it did hurt me, you know, as they've turned the Beast down such a dark path.
Yeah.
It really hurt me that they weren't focusing on his Avengers roots, because you know the Avengers that truly loved him, there should have been some kind of intervention before now. So, you know,
Right.
the way the current X-Force writer wrote it, that, you know, Wendy tried to stay in touch, but he was just rebuffed and things like that. You know, that vaguely touched on it, but you know, that's just not being true to that character. You know, within the editorial decision making at
So
Marvel, they
let me,
didn't
yeah,
treat that character well.
right. So let me ask you this: during that downward trend, I agree with you. That if the Avengers had saw that downward trend, they would have tried to intervene and say, "What are you doing? Stop!" You know, that type
Yep,
of thing. And I think Wonder Man would have led that charge.
absolutely.
Was he around though during the beginning of that spiral?
I would have to think he was. You know, Wonder Man's been killed and resurrected so
I know
many
he's
times.
been, yeah, so many times.
And actually, the you know, the whole this you know, the Honey I'm Home thing happened because Wendy had come back. This was the last time he had come back, and the Beast was in this when they first relaunched this volume of Avengers, and they had the big Morgana thing, and everybody's mind had been wiped. The Beast was in that world too. Morgana had put him in that world, and he awakened. And Wonder Man came back in a giant energy creature and helped defeat, or help defeat her. But Beast at the other end says, "Is that was Wendy? Somebody's gonna have to do some explaining to me." But it was later that the witch was bringing him back, and he would come in battle. So when he was formally brought back, and the Beast sees this on TV, that's why he runs back to Avengers Mansion. And at the time the legacy virus stuff was going on, and I think he even says in here that he was researching it, but he had to come back to see Simon and see what was up with that. But again, this is where it's, you know, here in the Marvel books, when he's doing the legacy virus thing, he's so daggone serious, and yet at the same time they write him, you know, as, you know, that whole issue, there was some serious stuff they talked about, but it was just, the whole issue was fun, him reuniting with his friends. They ended up going to a jazz bar and talking about some really, you know, serious, deep stuff that was going on with them personally. You know, let's see. Let's see when he goes back to fight the legacy virus. Let's see what he says with Wendy. Let's see. You know, let's see. You know, basically, I got to get back to Westchester and catch a blackbird to Muir Island. Adios, chicken plucker. See you in the funny papers. You know, and then he bounces off, and and Busick and George Perez is at the bottom with Busick.
Yeah.
And Perez says, "Oh, I really like drawing that funny little monkey man. Any chance he could come back?" And Busick says, "You never know, George. You never know." So, but Busick and Perez were fanboys on that character, and they brought him back. And how he was written here is not how he was being written in the X-Men books at the time.
Right.
You know, totally different.
I agree.
But I love seeing this version of Hank. Why can't Hank be happy?
Yeah.
You know,
why can't he be at the expansion and bouncing around the hallways as well?
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't like the mutation where they made him more cat-like either.
Oh, I hated that. That was terrible.
Yeah, I just thought that was terrible. And then at one point they had him question his sexuality and all these other things. You know,
during the X Factor run, he actually gets heartbroken because Trish Tilby uses him to get a story more. Yeah, to get a story out on X Factor, and all the while, Archangel or Angel was finally coming out of his Archangel shell with a girlfriend and out and about. Iceman had a girlfriend at the time as well, so it felt like all his friends were like, you know, going out, budding relationships and starting to, you know, feel normal again, being in a relationship. And here she uses him for a story and breaks his heart.
Well, and I think that is the only love interest he's had in the X-Men.
Yeah, Trish Tilby.
I think Tilby was it. And God, how long ago was that?
That's been a while.
They have
X Factor. Really?
Yeah,
X Factor. Yeah.
I have disagreed so much with how they've used the character that I really love.
I agree with that too.
And again, it's so redundant. You already have a Dark Beast.
Yeah.
you already had that character, which was a really cool character.
Yeah.
But we didn't need two of them running around.
Right. Well, no, it's, you know what? You could use that Dark Beast then more. Have this old beast, or the Avengers beast, I'll call him, come back and be like, what the hell? And have them face off against each other. What? That would be like awesome.
Which is kind of what just happened, though.
Oh, okay.
It just happened in X-Force. Well, yeah, it happened in X-Force, but it wasn't the real Dark. I mean, it wasn't the character Dark Beast that came from the Age of Apocalypse. Yeah. It was just the beast that has turned darker.
Right.
You know, in what they've done in the storylines lately. But he's still a great character, and I know I've just been really unhappy with how they've written him for a while.
Yep.
So
X Factor 1 was 86.
86. That was a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that was all. And that was after he also had a stint with the Defenders.
Mm-hmm. No, we got to give Dan some love there.
Yep, absolutely. And Mike
Harbour as well.
Mike Harbour always talks about, he was a Defender.
And Mike Harbour, that's true. Yep.
Yep. So he always brings him up as a Defender. So but you know, the Defender, but you know, like they say, that's not even a team. That's not a team.
That was just a convenience type of thing. Oh, you're here. Okay.
Yeah,
you're a warm body. You're hired. You're in.
Yeah. But don't say we're on a team. Shh. First rule about Defenders: we're not a team. Yeah.
Well, Uncle Gary, this has been great. I enjoyed this top 10.
Too.
Yep, and I agree with all of your points. I really do. I never really wanted to fight you with this and say, oh no, he's definitely an X-Men, because you have most definitely had the fun part of this whole show. I had the serious no part. And
you did. You did. Absolutely. You had the more serious beast that doesn't get laid. I had the beast that's having a good time. Did I mention
their names? Their names?
Barb, Melanie.
Did you forget them already?
Yeah. But I remember that night. No. Barb, Melanie, Patty, and Sue.
Yeah.
I just have a great love of the character. And I had the more fun thing. And the truth is, everybody that's watching this is going to say, of course, he's an X-Men, right? So, I had to interject mine with as much fun and all that. But it's a time capsule because, like I said before, at the time he left the Avengers in issue 212 or 214, at that point he had been, up until that point, which was like 1982 or so, he had been an Avenger for more issues than he had been an X-Men.
Right.
At that point. Of course, after that, of course, it's, you can't break the record now. It's out of the stratosphere. But at that point in time, he had been an Avenger more than he had been an X-Men. Right. So that's why I'm jaded in that way, and I just love that character from that time, from that era, and I'm stuck on that. And but I think we both agree that the Beast, that of my Avenger is just a more fun character to see and to hang around with, and and it would I think there's a way to have him be as important as he is in the X-Men universe and not have him be such a stick in the mud.
Stick in the mud. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who says he can't be doing all the things he does at Avengers Mansion that he did with
right at Xavier's, right? Like you said, that one scene where he solved the legacy virus and he's happy as a clam. He needs some more of that.
Yeah, I agree.
More of that. So
I agree. All right, then we can go ahead and wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have watched this episode, thank you very much. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments. Do you think he's an X-Men? Do you think he's an Avenger? Do you think he's both? Or are you going to go with Mike and Dan and say he's a Defender 100%? I mean, you never know. You never know.
Here's what we can agree on. He's a great character.
Yes, he is a great character, and I want to say he was best drawn by George Perez.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm not going to refute that one bit. He was best drawn by George Perez.
Yep. I think Jim Lee also did him justice in his drawing, but George Perez, 100%, hands down.
Just about every character was best drawn by George Perez. So, but
that's also true. That's also true.
But what George Perez brought to the table with him was just. Was just awesome. So we can definitely agree on that, and it's a great character. And Sal, you made great points too. Just my points were just more fun.
But sometimes you got to have that, even if it's a quartet of fun.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? Sometimes you just want to be on a team with Captain America and not Cyclops.
Jamie will fight you on that. All right, folks.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for the next top 10. We don't even know what that top 10 is going to be. These top 10 lists are completely at random. We don't even know until like the week before. So tune in next time and check us out then. And by the way, if you're already there, check us out on the codexstation.com or go on to YouTube and at the Codex Station on any social media. Gary, because why?
Because at the Codex Station, we have all the socials, and we would like to give them to you, starting with Barb, Sue, Melanie, and Patty.
They can attest. We have all the socials.
They can attest.
All right, folks. Take care. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.